Good morning, guys. So today we will discuss section 1.5, the applications and modelings with quadratic equations. Okay, so let's start with example 1. Can you read this? So what did you understand? So you have right? So a piece of machinery produces rectangular sheets of metal such that the length is 3 times the width, right? Equal-sized squares measuring 5 inches on a side can be cut from the corners so that the resulting piece of metal can be set into an open box by folding of the flaps. If specifications call for the volume of the box to be 1,435 inch cube, find the dimension of the original piece of the metal. Okay, so we have a rectangular sheet of metal, right? Sheets of metal, and the length is 3 times its width. Is that right? The length is 3 times its width, and then we are going to cut equal-sized square measuring 5 inches from each corner, right? So you see you have a, let's say this is the rectangular sheet of metal, okay? You see that? And this is length, and this is width. And you see that the length is 3 times the width. So if you consider this a width equal to x inch, so what will be the length?
3x.
Exactly, yep. Length is 3x. Right? And then equal-sized squares measuring 5 inches on a side can be cut from the corners. So now let's say from this corner we have so these are the equal-sized squares here. You see that? So each square on the corner, they have a length 5. This is 5. This is 5. This is 5. You see that? Right? This is 5, 5, 5, 5. And same thing here. 5, 5, 5. So the equal-sized squares measuring 5 inches on a side, right, can be cut from the corners. So now you want to cut it from the corners, so you don't have something like this. Are you guys with me? Right? You see that? Something like this. You see that, right? So let's say this is the, you can see here, okay, guys? Let me show you that. So what did you see here is, so this is the rectangular piece of the what? Rectangular sheet of the metal. You see that? This is rectangular, right? And then from each corner, you are going to cut a square of side length 5 inches. Is that right? Like this. You see? From here, you cut a square, right, of side length 5 inches. Did you see that? And from this corner, we also do the same thing, guys. See that? And then from this corner, you do the same thing. So we cut a square, right, from each corner, and the square had the side length, what, 5 inch. You see that? Did you get it? Right? This is exactly this figure. Right? And then you see the resulting piece of the metal. So this is the resulting piece of the metal. Right? The resulting piece of the metal can be shaped into an open box by folding of the flaps. So now if you fold it, you can look here, if you fold it, look here. So you do have a, did you see that? Now this is the what? Rectangular box. Is that right? So this is the, can be shaped into an open box by folding up the what? Flaps. You see the open box right here. The box is open, right? It doesn't have a top. That makes sense? Yeah. So now, what you are supposed to do here, if the volume of the box is, if the volume of this box, if the volume of this box is 1,435 inch cube, you need to find the dimension of the original piece of the metal. So you need to find the length and width of the original piece of the metal. Okay? And this is open box, and you guys know how to find the volume. So now, tell me, what will be the length of the open box? And what will be the width of the open box? Okay, we have to figure it out. And then we have to find out height of the open box. And you guys know that the volume, let's say we denote the volume by V, right? And the length by, let's say this L, this is W, and this is H. The volume would be length times W times height. You know that, right? So now, can you tell me what will be the length of the open box? So, you see this is going to be the length here. You see that? So this is the length. Is that right? Is that right? So what will be the length of the open box? Huh? So you cut 5 inches from this side, is that right? And 5 inches from this side, is that right? What are the original length of the rectangular sheet of metal? X, is that right? You cut 5 here, and you also cut 5 inches here, is that right? So what will be this? 3x
minus 10.
Exactly, 3x minus 10. Because the original length, it was what? 3x, right? So you cut 5 from here, 5 from here. So that means you have to subtract 10, right? That makes sense? And then what will be the width? So this is gonna be W, right? So what will be width? So what was the original? You see the original piece was like this, guys. Oh my God. Like this, right? So it has X. Originally it has X, right? But you delete 5 from here. You delete 5 from here. and then you cut 5 from here, is that right? So now this is going to be the width of the open box, right? Right? So what will be that is x minus 10. So it will be x minus 10. And what will be the height? 5. So the height will be 5. So the length will be 3x, L equal to 3x. And width of the open box will be, 3x minus 10. It will be x minus 10. And the height is going to be 5. See that? So now you see the volume equal to length times width times height. So what is the volume of the open box? It is given, right? 1,435. Remember? This big is 1435 inch cube, right? So inch cube. So this is 1435 equal to length is 3x minus 10 times width is x minus 10 times height is 5. Did I make sense here? Huh? Okay, so now, hey, what you can do here? You divide both sides by 5. Can I do that? Right? And then what is 1435 divided by 5? Can you let me know?
287.
So you say like a 287? Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Very good. So this 5 and 5 cancel. Hey, can I use FOIL here? Yes? So what will be here? 3x times x? 3x is square, right? 3x times negative 10. Negative 30x. Negative 10 times x. Negative 10x. Negative 10 times negative 10 is positive 100. Is that good? Okay. So now it will be 287 equal to 3x square. What is this? Negative 30x minus 10x. Negative 40x plus 100. Right? So, hey, this is a quadratic equation, right? Right? You see the exponent, the power of the variable x is 2, and this is the highest power, right? So, excuse me. So this is a quadratic equation. So let me write in a standard form. You know the standard form means, right? The standard form is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So this is the standard form, right? So that means I want to make 0 on one side, okay? So let me make 0 on the left side, okay? So let me subtract 287 from both sides. Can I do that? And then you cross them out. So, hey, this is 3x square minus 40x. Hey, what is 100 minus 287?
Negative 187.
Negative 187. Okay? So now this is, we can rewrite this as 3x square minus 40x minus 187 equal to 0. Good. Now we need to solve this, right? Because we need to find the value of x, right? What is our goal? Our objective is to find the dimension of the what? Rectangular sheet of the metal. Is that right? Rectangular metal sheet, right? So that means we need to find the value of x, because we suppose x is the width, right? We supposed x is the width of the rectangular metal sheet, right? Okay, guys, so how can we solve it? Can you help me, guys? So let me use the formula, okay? That will be the easiest way, okay? X equal to, do you know the quadratic formula? X equal to negative b, what is that? Negative b plus or minus?
Isn't it B plus minus 4AC?
Yeah, you missed the radical sign, right? So radical sign is that b square minus 4ac over 2 times a, right? So far so good? Okay. So, hey, what is the value of a? You compare this with ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, okay? So what is a? Can you let me know what is the value of a, guys? 3. Good job. Yeah, 3. What is the value of b? B is negative 4d, right? And what is the value of c? Negative 187. Right? Okay, so now x equal to negative b. So you plug in the value of b, okay? Negative 4d plus or minus radical. So b square is, you just plug in the value of b, okay? So negative 4d, but put parentheses here, okay? B square, so you have negative 4d square, right? Minus 4 times a is 3 times c is negative 187. This whole over 2 times a is 3. That makes sense? Good, guys. So it would be what? What is negative times negative 40? Bless you. Positive 40, right? Plus or minus. Hey, what is parenthesis negative 40 square? 1000? Huh? What is parenthesis negative 40 square? Is that 1600? Right? And then, can you help me? What is this? Negative 4 times, negative times negative positive, it will be positive. So 4 times 3 times 187. Can you help me? What will be that? 4.
2,244.
So you say like negative, let me double check on that. I think you are right. So it's going to be 4 times 3 times 187. Is that right? So 2244? 2244. But you see, there is a negative. This negative times negative is positive. So you can do 2244 here, okay? And this whole over 2 times 3 is 6. Right? And then what you can do here? So that will be x equal to 4d plus or minus. Can you add them up, please? What did you get?
3,844.
Yes. Good job, okay? Right? Okay, so it will be x equal to 4t plus or minus. What is radical 3844? What is this? 62? Did you get 62? Yes? 62 over 6. Am I making sense so far? Good. So now, hey, you see you have a plus or minus here, right? So let's pick positive sign. If you take positive sign, what will happen? X equal to 40 plus this 40 plus 62 over 6. Okay, right? If you pick positive sign, so x equal to, what is 40 plus 62?
102.
102 over 6. Hey, what is 102 over 6? Huh? Is that 17?
17.
Okay, right? So if you pick positive sign, we got the value of x is 17. So now let me pick negative sign, okay? So if I take negative sign, what will happen here, guys? So you have x equal to 40 minus 62 over 6, and that will be, what is 40 minus 62?
Negative 22.
Negative 22 over 6. Hey, value of x. What is x? X is the width. Yes, you are right. X is the width of the original rectangular metal sheet. Is that right? And it cannot be negative. Can it be negative? No, right? It cannot be negative. So this is impossible. Okay? This value of x does not make sense, right? So this is impossible. So now you have x equal to 17, and remember, when you have a original metal sheet, rectangular metal sheet like this, we consider width is x, right? And the length is 3 times x. 3 times width, right? Right? So now what did you get the value of x? 17. So the width is 17, and what will be the length? So the length is 3 times x. Is that right? 3 times 17, what is that? 51. Right? So the dimension of the original piece of the metal is, what is that, guys? Length. What is the length? 51. And what will be the width? Width is 17. Okay, so do you have any questions? Did you get it? Yes? Good, okay. So now I want to take you to the next question. Look here. So do you know the Pythagorean theorem? You know that? Good. So for the Pythagorean theorem, guys, you need to have a right triangle. So this is a right angle triangle, right? You know the right triangle means it has a right angle here. And the side opposite to right angle. This is called what? Is that hypotenuse? Huh? Right? And then this is called what? Adjacent. And what is this? What is this? Opposite. Opposite, right? Are you guys with me? So we denote this by A, this by C, and this by B, right? So now the Pythagorean theorem tells you the square of hypotenuse, which is c square, is equal to the sum of the square of what? Opposite and adjacent. So this is a square plus b square. So this is a Pythagorean theorem. Okay? The sum of the squares of adjacent and opposite is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. Make sense? Good, good. So now let's solve this problem, okay? Can you read this? The first step is you have to read the problem and you have to understand. You need to understand the problem. In the second step, you have to assign a variable. Okay? And the third step, you have to write an equation. Fourth step, you need to solve that. You need to solve that equation. Okay? And then you state the answer. Right? So what is the first step? Read. So now you read it, right? You read it, right? So now let me read it, okay? A piece of property has the shape of a right triangle. The longer leg is 20 meters longer than twice the length of the shorter leg. The hypotenuse is 10 meters longer than the length of the longer leg. Find the length of the sides of the triangular plot. Okay? So now we read it, right? Let me sketch, let me draw the figure, and then we will assign variables, right? Okay, so let me sketch, okay? So we have a piece of property and it is in a triangular, is that right? Right triangle, in the shape of a right triangle. So we have something like this, right? Make sense? And then the longer leg is 20 meters longer than, hey, by the way, so these are legs, you know, the adjacent and opposite, they are called the legs of a right triangle. Okay? So let's say this one is shorter leg, and then obviously this would be longer leg, right? And if you read the second sentence, the longer leg is 20 meters longer than twice the length of the shorter leg. Did you understand that? The longer leg, this one, right, is 20 meters longer. This one is 20 meters longer than what? Shorter leg. Okay? Now let's assign a variable. Okay? Are you guys with me? So if you say, let's say the shorter leg is x meter, okay? What will be the longer leg?
It's going to be 20 plus 2x.
Yes, the longer leg is 20 meters longer than twice the length of the shorter leg. Yeah, you are right. So you see the longer leg is 20 meters longer than twice the length of the shorter leg. So now you have to write mathematical expression for this one, right? So you guys are right, because we suppose the shorter leg is x meter, right? So the longer leg is 20 meters longer than twice the length of the shorter leg. And you would say like a 20 plus 2x or 2x plus 20, whatever, right? So this will be 2x plus 20. Are you guys with me? So now the hypotenuse is 10 meters longer than the length of the longer leg. This is hypotenuse, right? This one is what? 10 meters, I'm sorry. 10 meters longer than the length of the longer leg. 10 meters longer than the length of the longer leg. So can you let me know, can you tell me what will be the length of the hypotenuse?
2x plus 30.
Yes, excellent. You see, hypotenuse is 10 meters longer than the length of the longer leg. You know the length of the longer leg is 2x plus 20, right? So the hypotenuse is 10 meters more, 10 meters longer, right? 10 meters more than this. So that means That will be 2x plus 20 plus 10. It's going to be 2x plus 30. Did you get it? Good. So now we apply the Pythagorean theorem, right? And you guys know the Pythagorean theorem tells you hypotenuse square, which is 2x plus 30 square, right? Right? Because you know c square equal to what? A square plus b square. Are you guys with me? So now 2x plus 30 square equal to a square is 2x plus 20 square, right? Plus b square means x square. Does that make sense? Yes? Good. Hey, can you help me? What is this, guys? 2x plus 30 square. What is that? So you said like a 4x square plus 900. Yeah, this is partially right. Okay. So let me show you here. You missed something here. So you guys know the 2x plus 30 square is same as 2x plus 30 times 2x plus 30. Everybody know it, right? Right? Use FOIL, okay? And you say this 2x times 2x, it will be 4x square. Is that right? Right? And what is 2x times 30? 60x, right? And plus, what is 30 times 2x? 60x plus, what is 30 times 30? 900. So now this is 4x squared. You combine 60x and 60x. What is 60x plus 60x? 120x plus 900. Did you see that? Right? So it would be what? 4x squared plus 120x plus 900. Right? So now, hey, can you help me? What will be 2x plus 20 squared? What would be 2x plus 20 squared? So this is same as 2x plus 20 times what? 2x plus 20. Right? So you use FOIL. 2x times 2x, 4x squared. Are you with me? 2x times 20, 40x. 20 times 2x, 40x. Good job. What is 20 times 20? What is 20 times 20? 400. Good mental math, okay? So now 4x squared, you combine 40 and 40. Combine 40x and 40x. What will be that? 80x, good. Plus 400, okay? So now you see it's going to be 4x squared plus 80x plus 400, and this x squared, okay? Plus x squared. Did I make sense so far? Okay. So now this is same as we can rewrite this 4x squared plus 120x plus 900 equal to, you combine 4x squared and x squared. What will be that? 5x squared, right? Plus 80x plus what? 400. Make sense? Okay. So now, hey, so let me write this in a standard form, okay? So this is Can I what? Can I subtract 4x squared from both sides? Can I? Okay. Or you can, if you, let me do it like this, okay? So which side you want to make 0, right side or left side? It's up to you. I want to write, this is a quadratic equation, right? I want to write in a standard form. Standard form means one side will be 0, right? So what do you want to do? So if I do this, are you guys okay with me? Agree? So this, gone, right? And then you subtract 120x from both sides, okay? And this is also cancelled, right? Right? Then undo negative 900. This is also cancelled. So what I have now? So on the left side I have a 0 equals to 5x squared minus 4x squared is x squared. What is 80x minus 120x?
Negative 40x.
Excellent, negative 40x. What is 400 minus 900?
Negative 500.
Negative 500. So now this is same as what? This is, you can rewrite this x squared minus 40x minus 500 equal to 0. Or you can make the right hand side 0. It's up to you guys. You know what I mean? It's up to you, okay? That makes sense? Okay. Now you can use formula or you can factor. You can use the factor method or you can use the completing the square method, okay? So let me use the factor method. That might be easier. I don't know. So can you give me the factors of 500? So that the sum is, so that the sum is negative 40. Can you give me the factors of negative 500? Because the constant term is negative 500, right? So that the sum is negative 40. What is that? 25 and 20. So if we do that, so if we do that, 25 times 20, 500, right? Negative 25 plus 20. If you do this, so this is negative 500. But what about the sum? Negative 25 plus 20, that will give you, if we add them up, negative 25 plus 20, that will give you negative 5. But we are looking for what? Negative 40. Is that right? So that didn't work. Other way is if you can have a 25 and negative 20, right? Right? But still, if you add them up, 25 plus negative 20,
10 and 50.
yeah, it doesn't work, right? Does it?
What would you do? 10 and negative 50.
Yes. How did you get that, boy? It's so nice. Yeah. So you said like you are saying like this is negative 50 and positive 10, or
Yes, sir.
yes. Yes, that works. You know what I mean? Because negative 50 times 10 is what? Negative 500, right? Right? Negative 50 times 10 is negative 500. Good. The product is negative 500. If you add them up, negative 50 plus 10. Hey, what is negative 50 plus 10? Negative 50. Wow. It works. Right? Good. So now, can I rewrite this? Can I rewrite this as x squared? Negative 40x is negative 50x plus 10x. Are you guys with me? Yes? And this negative 500 equal to 0. Or you don't have to do that because the coefficient of x squared is 1. So you can simply do x minus 50 times x plus 10 equal to 0. You can do that. That makes sense? Okay. So now if x minus 50 times x plus 10 equal to 0, use zero factor property. Remember, we did this last time. If a times b equal to 0, then what happened? A equal to 0, right? Or b equal to 0, a equal to 0, or b equal to 0, or both a and b equal to 0. Is that right? So now what will happen here is x minus 50 equal to 0 or x plus 10 equal to 0. Right? Are you guys with me? So now that will be x equal to 50. X minus 50 equal to 0 means x equal to 50. X plus 10 equal to 0 means x equal to negative 10. Now, the length of triangle, it cannot be negative 10, right? We have a triangular plot, is that right? So it cannot be negative. The length, so it is not possible. It is impossible. So now you see here, the shorter leg is x. So the shorter leg, which is x, this is 50 meter. We got it, right? And the longer leg is 2x plus 20, right? 2x plus 20. So this is 2 times 50 because you plug in value of x 50. So this is 2 times 50 plus 20. Are you guys with me? Right? So this is 2 times 50 is 100. 100 plus 20 is 120 meter. And now the hypotenuse, right? So the hypotenuse is going to be what? 2x plus 30, right? 2x plus 30, and 2 times the value of x. You got 50. 2 times 50 plus 30. So what is 2 times 50? 100 plus 30. So that's going to be 130 meter. 130 meter, okay, guys? Yes? Does that make sense? Now, if you don't know how to factor it, you can use the formula, guys. The formula is also, I think you will love it, okay? Look here, the formula is, so you have x square minus 40x minus 500 equal to 0. You compare with ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. What is the value of a? Huh? A is 1, is that right? What is b? Negative 40. What is c? Negative 500. You have the formula x equal to negative b plus or minus radical b square minus 4ac whole over 2a. Right? So let me plug in the value of b, that is negative of negative 40 plus or minus radical b square, parenthesis negative 40 square minus 4 times a is 1 times c is negative 500. Make sense? Right? Over 2 times a is 2 times 1. Right? Okay. So now it will be x equal to negative times negative positive 40. And this is plus or minus radical. Hey, what is negative 40 square? 1600. A negative times negative positive. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 500 is what? 2000, right? Over 2. 2000. Right? Are you guys with me? So now x equal to, this is 40 plus or minus radical. 1600 plus 2000 is 3600 over 2. So now you pick positive sign. So if you pick positive sign, that would be x equal to 40 plus, hey, what is radical 3600? 60? Is that right? 40 plus 60 over 2, and what is 40 plus 60? On 100 over 2, that will give you x equal to what? 50. You see that? You got the 50 here. Right? And if you pick negative sign, so you take negative sign, so x equal to 40 minus radical 3600 is 60, right? Over 2, and that will give you x equal, what is 40 minus 60? Negative 20 over 2, and x equal to what? 10, negative 10. So either way is fine, okay? Okay, so any questions so far? No? Good, guys. So now, can you read this? Please. This. Right? So if we neglect air resistance, right? So what will happen? So if you throw, right, a projectile directly upward from an initial height of s0 with an initial velocity v0 feet per second is given by this. This is the model, okay? S equal to, this S is the height of the of a projected object. Okay, so T represents the time, right? And yeah. So let me take you here, okay? Did I do this side slow here? Look here. If a projectile is launched vertically upward from the ground with an initial velocity of 100 feet per second, neglecting air resistance, its height s above the ground t seconds after projection is given by this. Okay. So now you need to find after how many seconds will it be 50 feet above the ground. Are you with me, guys? So after how many seconds will it be 50 feet above the ground? So if you throw an object, or if you like if you launch a projectile or throw an object, it follows the what? Parabolic path. You know what I mean? It goes like this and it achieves the maximum height, and it will go down. Is that right? So now let's say if this is a ground, you launch a projectile from here, so it will follow this path. Right? So this is a ground now. This is a ground, okay? And the model, you remember, it is, if a projectile is launched vertically upward from the ground, so that means initial height is 0, is that right? If the projectile is launched vertically upward from the ground with an initial velocity of 100 feet per second, remember the model, we talked about like this model, remember? This, S equal to, this is the vertical height, okay? So S equal to negative 16t square, right, plus V0t plus S0. So the V0 is initial velocity. S0 is initial height, but you launched the projectile from the ground. So that means the initial height will be 0. You see what I'm talking, right? You launch the projectile from the ground. So that means this height is 0. So now this is negative 16t square. And what was the initial velocity? Is that 100? Yes, 100 feet per second. So this is 100t plus, and this is 0, guys. This is 0. Because you launched from the ground. So it will be S equal to negative 16t square plus 100t. So this is the model. Okay. And now we need to find out after how many seconds will it be 50 feet above the ground. So you are trying to find out the time when it is 50 feet above the ground. So you are trying to find the value of t when it is 50 feet above the ground. Let's say this height is 50 feet. So now this is the height, right? Height of the projectile, right? Are you with me? You plug in 50 for S, 50 equal to negative 16t square plus 100t. Good? So now what will be this? So you move all this to the right side. So it's going to be, right? So you have a positive 16t square here minus negative 100t. Add 16t square and negative 100t. It's cross them out, cross them out. So now it would be what? 16t square minus 100t plus 50 equal to 0. I'm just like, I just wrote down in a standard form, right? Excuse me, standard form, okay? So now, hey, can you simplify it? Is there anything, can you factor out, is there any common factor among these three terms? 2? Yes. So let me divide all this by every term by 2, okay? I can do that, right? So what is that? 8t square minus 50t plus 25 equal to 0. Okay. So now can you tell me, what are the factors of, what is 25 times 8? Or you can use the formula, okay? So it will be better to use formula for you guys. What is the value of a here? 8. B, you compare with ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, okay? So what is the value of a? 8. B, negative 50, and c is what? 25. Is that good? Okay. So what is the formula? X is negative b plus or minus radical b square minus 4ac over 2a. So now if we plug in here, okay, the value of a, b, and c, then we can find out the value. Oh, this is, by the way, this variable here, so this is quadratic in t, okay? This is quadratic in t. So the variable here is t. Make sense? So now, so t equal to negative, this b is negative 50 plus or minus radical, so b square is negative 50 square minus 4 times a is 8 times c is what? 25. And whole over 2 times a is what? 8. Good. So now it would be t equals to negative times negative 50 is positive 50 plus or minus radical. What is parenthesis negative 50 square? Is that 2500?
Yes, sir.
And then minus, hey, this 4 times 25 is 100 times 8. Is that 800? 4 times 8 times 25. And this 2 times 8 is 16. Is that good? So now t equal to 50 plus or minus this 2500 minus 800. Is that, what is that? 1700? 1700 over what? 16. Okay? So now you pick positive sign. So that would be t equals to 50 plus, hey, what is radical 1700? Can you help me?
They give you a decimal. It's 41.231.
Yes, sir. 41.231, yep. And this divided by what? 16. So now you add 50 and 41.231. So that will give me 91.231. And you divide this by 16, right? Huh? So that will give you t equals to 5.7. Okay, 5.7. Now if you pick negative sign, so t equals to 50 minus 41.231, because you see this is 50, you take negative sign, it will be minus, and radical 1700 is 41.231, right? Right? Over 16, so that will be t equals to what? What will be t? So what is 50 minus?
8.769.
Okay. So you say 8 point, what did you say, sir? Can you say that again?
8.769.
Okay. Yeah, 8.769. Thank you. 16, right? Over 16. So what is that number, sir?
0.548.
Exactly. So let's say 0.55, okay? Round to 2 decimal places, okay? So 0. This is, so now this is second, and this is also seconds. So now you see that when you launch a projectile from the ground, right, it attains a height of 50 feet, right, after 0.55 second and after what, 5.7 seconds. That makes sense because look here, this is 0.55 seconds. After 0.55 second, it achieves the height of what? 50 feet. And then again, when it attains the maximum height, it will go down, right? Right? And it also achieves the same height of 50 feet after what? 5.7 seconds. That makes sense? You see what I'm talking? It goes like this, achieves, right? It attains the maximum height and it what? It goes down and hit the ground, right? Okay. So, good. Now, part B. How long will it take for the projectile to return to the ground? So you need to find the value of t when the projectile return to the ground. And remember that when the projectile returns to the ground, the height will be 0. Is that right? That makes sense? You see, the projectile, if the projectile returns to the ground right here, so the height will be 0. So I think we have a model S equal to negative 16t square plus 100t. Is that right? Right? And when the projectile returned to the ground, so that means the projectile hit the ground. At that time, the height will be 0. The height of the projectile will be 0. So now, so you plug in 0 here. You see that, right? Negative 16t square plus 100t. So this is same as negative 16t square. You move this to the left side. So this will be plus. You see what I'm doing here, right? You add 16t square on both sides. You cross them out. So 16t square equal to what? 100t. I want to move this to the left side. Okay? So now you subtract 100t from both sides. You cross them out. Good? So it will be 16t square minus 100t equal to 0. Now how do you solve this equation? This is a quadratic equation, right? So how do you solve this equation? You factor out. What can you factor out from here? What can you factor out, guys? T and can I factor out 4t? Right? So what will be this? 4t minus 25 equal to 0, right? Did you see that? So now use zero factor property. Or before doing that, you can, this is a number 4, so you can get rid of this 4. Okay, you divide both sides by 4. This 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom. We can cancel them, right? So this is same as t times 4t minus 25 equal to 0. And use zero factor property. If you use zero factor property, so that will give you, you see, either t equal to 0 or 4t minus 25 equal to 0. If t equal to 0 or 4t minus 25 equal to 0. So you add 25 on both sides. You add 25 on both sides. You cross them out, right? So what do you have now? 4t equals to 25. And you divide both sides by 4. So you divide both sides by 4. You cross them out. So t equals to, what is 25 over 4?
6.25.
Exactly. So now you see the projectile returned to the ground after what? 6.25 seconds. Okay, so this is the answer. And 0 does not make sense, right? Because at time t equal to 0, the projectile was on the ground. You know what I mean? Okay. Are you guys with me? At the time t equal to 0, the projectile, it was on the ground, right? So you see, after 6.25 seconds, the projectile hit the ground. So we did it. Any questions so far, guys? Huh? No? So now I want to take you to section 1.6. Look here. Okay. So now we will discuss rational equation. Okay. So how to solve rational equations. So we will, talk about that. Okay. So if you have a rational equation, then it will have a one or more rational expression. You know the rational expression means like something on the top and something on the bottom, like a numerator over denominator. So the rational equation is an equation which contains one or more rational terms, or which contains one or more rational expression. Okay. So, and if you look here, so this is a rational equation. You see that? So this 3x minus 1 over 3, this is a rational expression. And this 2x over x minus 1, it is also a what? Rational expression. Now, if you have a rational equation, you have to look at the denominator. Okay? So, and then you have to figure out, you have to find out what value of the variable makes the denominator 0. Okay? You see what I'm talking, right? So now, if you look here, 3x minus 1, you have a, let me copy this here. So you have a 3x minus 1 over 3 minus 2x over x minus 1, and this equal to x. We do have this, right? So now look at the denominator, x minus 1, right? What value of x makes the denominator 0? What value of x makes x minus 1 0? 1. Excellent. So to find that, you just set the denominator equal to 0. Okay, so x minus 1 equal to 0. So that will give you x equal to 1. Is that right? If you plug in 1 here, your denominator will be 0. So that means the equation, like this 2x over x minus 1 is undefined, right? Because when you plug in 1, this term will be what? 2 over and minus 1 is 0. So this is undefined. This is undefined. So x equal to 1 cannot be a solution. Does that make sense? Why that? Because the value of x equal to 1 makes x minus 1 0. So you will have a 0 on the what? Denominator, right? So now, what you need to do is you need to find the LCD, the least common denominator. So what is the LCD? And you see it has a 1 in the denominator. If you look at the right side, x is 1 in the denominator, right? So what will be the LCD? What is the least common denominator? And there is nothing common between among 3 x minus 1, right? And 1. I mean, like there is 1 common, right? Right? But you see, if you look here, you have a 3 here, x minus 1 here, and the 1 here. So the LCD will be simply 3 times what? X minus 1. Makes sense? So this is the LCD. And then you multiply every term, or you can say you multiply both sides of the equation by LCD. Right? So that means you multiply 3x minus 1 over 3 by LCD, which is 3 times x minus 1, minus you multiply this term by LCD, so 3 times x minus 1 times 2x over x minus 1, and you also multiply this one by LCD, 3 times x minus 1 times x. Make sense, guys? Yes? So now, why did we do that? we multiplied both sides of the equation by LCD to get rid of the denominator. You see, when you multiply by LCD, this 3 and 3 is gone. So you are free from the denominator. Is that right? For the first term. Same thing here. This x minus 1 gone. Right? You see, you are now, you got rid of the what? Denominators. That makes sense? And now, so it will be x minus 1 times 3x minus 1 from here. X minus 1 times 3x minus 1 minus, so this 3 times 2x is 6x equal to, you have 3x times x is 3x square, 3 times x, or you can write just 3x times x minus 1. That should be okay. Right? So now, use FOIL. X times 3x, 3x square. X times negative 1, negative x. Negative 1 times 3x, negative 3x. Negative 1 times negative 1, positive 1. Right? Minus 6x, this negative is minus 6x. You distribute this 3x. 3x times x, 3x square. What is 3x times negative 1? Negative 3x. That makes sense? Okay. So now the nice thing here is 3x square, right? So what is negative x minus 3x minus 6x? You combine them. Negative x minus 3x minus 6x. What is that? Yes, negative 10x plus 1 equal to 3x square minus 3x. Did you get it? So, hey, you see this 3x square on the right side, 3x square on the left side. So if you subtract 3x square from both sides, what will happen? You cancel them, right? So now, it will be what? It will be negative 10x plus 1 equal to what? Negative 3x. Right? And then you add 3x on both sides. This is a linear equation, right? So now you cross them out. So negative 10x plus 3x. Negative 7x plus 1 equal to 0. Right? Then you subtract 1 from both sides. You subtract 1 from both sides. You cross them out. So you see that negative 7x equal to what? Negative 1. Make sense? Right? And you divide both sides by negative 7. So what did we get? This negative 7 and negative 7, you cross them out. So now x equal to 1 over 7. Are you guys with me? So you got x equal to 1 over 7. So now you have to check it, okay? So you plug in 1 over 7. You see, if you plug in 1 over 7 here, and I told you x equal to 1 cannot be a solution. You guys know that, right? So to check this equation, you plug in x equal to 1 over 7 in the original equation. That makes sense? And now I can show you here. If you look here, oh, this is not right. Where is that? They did not do checking here. Okay. So they did not do that. But okay. So this is also the same. What is the LCD here for this equation? Least common denominator. X minus 2, right? You multiply both sides of this equation by x minus 2 to get rid of the denominator, okay? Now I want to stop here, okay guys? I'll see you next time, okay?